For several months now, we've been exploring the lives of the most iconic characters from the hit series Outlander here on this channel. One of our favorite shows right now, by the way. And of course, it was only a matter of time before we talked about one of the audience's favorite characters, Lord John Grey. So get ready, because we're about to take a brief journey into the life of this fascinating character. Or at least as much as Diana Gabaldon has revealed through her books. Lord John Grey's childhood story begins within an aristocratic English family in the mid-18th century. A world of privilege, but also secrets and tragedies. He was born in June 1729, the second son of the Duke and Duchess of Pardlo, Gerard and Benedicta Grey. John shared his home with his older brother, Harold, better known to everyone as Hal. 9 years his senior, Hal played a crucial role in John's life, stepping in early as a protector, an older brother who took responsibility for his safety and well-being. But John's life wasn't just about Hal. He also had two older half-brothers, Paul and Edgar Devane, from his mother Benedicta's first marriage. Although the family was surrounded by luxury and privilege, their lives would be marked by a tragedy that would change their fate. Only days after his birth, his godfather enrolled him in the exclusive Beefsteak Club, a clear indication of the high expectations placed upon him. This was a society where duty and honor were the foundations upon which men's careers and lives were built. By the age of 3, John began training with the sword, an exercise that would enhance his physical prowess and discipline. By the age of 7, he was already attending the club regularly with his godfather, learning the complexities of noble etiquette and English aristocratic customs. At the age of 12, tragedy cast a shadow over John's home. His father, the Duke of Pardlo, died under suspicious circumstances, engulfed in a scandal that deeply affected the family. He was accused of being a Jacobite sympathizer, a traitor to the crown, causing great controversy. His father's death not only left an emotional void, but also disrupted the Grey family's social and political standing. In an effort to restore the family's honor, Hal, his older brother, assumed the title of Earl of Melton. The Grey family's reputation, tarnished by the accusation, became Hal's top priority as he took control of their legacy. As for John, true to his roots, he continued to use his birth title, Lord John Grey, one that would remain with him throughout his life. The tragedy of his father's death changed the course of John's life. In an effort to protect him and provide a fresh perspective, Hal decided to send him to live with their mother's family in Aberdeen. This decision not only changed his environment, but also strengthened his connection to the military tradition that had always been present in the Grey family. The harsh climate and constant struggles of Aberdeen helped shape young Lord John's character. In 1745, at just 16 years old, Lord John Grey found himself at the heart of one of the most significant conflicts of his time, the Jacobite Uprising in Scotland. At such a young age, he was already serving as a soldier alongside his older brother Hal's regiment, striving to restore the Grey family's honor, which had been deeply tarnished by their father's death. Hal had formed the 46th Regiment in hopes of redeeming the family's reputation, but being aware of John's vulnerability, he made a protective decision. He forbade John from participating directly in battle. Although John longed to fight on the battlefield, he was relegated to secondary duties, primarily serving as a scout and supply gatherer. His role, though less glorious than that of the combatants, was no less important. It was his responsibility to explore the hills and surrounding areas of the English camp, gathering valuable intelligence and ensuring that essential supplies reached the regiment on time. During one of these scouting missions, John's fate took an unexpected turn. One day, while patrolling the hills near the camp, John encountered a group of fierce Scots who, in his eyes, were holding an innocent English woman hostage. He attempted to subdue the woman's captor by attacking him from behind, but the man was quicker and stronger. Jamie Fraser held him captive for a short period, allowing John to believe his assumptions were correct and exploiting his youthful gullibility to gather intelligence on the English troops. Once Jamie had gathered all the information he needed, he revealed the truth. This woman was no hostage, she was his wife, and John had been thoroughly deceived. With his pride wounded and his arm broken, John fled after being released, but it was too late. Jamie had gathered vital intelligence that would later prove crucial in the Highlanders' victory at the Battle of Prestonpans in September 1745. The information Jamie gathered and his bravery in battle contributed significantly to the defeat of the English forces, a moment that brought hope to the Jacobites in their fight to reclaim the Scottish throne, all thanks to young Grey. Following this incident, John became an outcast and the target of scorn within his own regiment, facing distrust from his fellow soldiers, except for one. Hector Dalrymple, a 20-year-old lieutenant, was the only one who stood by him, and John fell deeply in love with him. Hector, described as a tall, muscular man with dark hair and blue eyes, was John's first lover. Their relationship provided John with an emotional refuge amidst the military and personal tensions he faced. However, their love had to remain a secret. In the 18th century, homosexuality was not only condemned, but also considered a crime punishable by disgrace, imprisonment, or even death. For John and Hector, this secrecy added a layer of stress and insecurity to their relationship. Every shared moment had to be hidden, every word of affection whispered in secret, always under the constant threat of discovery in a military environment where loyalty and the appearance of righteousness were paramount. Despite this, Hector became John's pillar of strength, offering him comfort and love in a time when such feelings were rare for someone like him. In 1746, fate led John and Hector to the battlefield of Culloden, an encounter that would change both of their lives forever. The Battle of Culloden was a pivotal moment in British history, marking the end of Jacobite hopes of reclaiming the throne. For John, this event not only meant the defeat of an enemy, but also the loss of his greatest emotional refuge. John's older brother, Hal, had insisted on protecting him by forbidding him from participating directly in combat. However, this supposed safeguard did not shield him from danger. Amid the chaos of battle, John became the victim of sexual assault by a fellow soldier, an extremely traumatic event that he chose to keep secret. In an era when male vulnerability was seen as weakness and social repercussions were severe, John decided to bear his pain in silence. The tragedy reached its most painful point when Hector lost his life at Culloden. John was plunged into deep grief, facing the loss of the only man he had ever loved. Yet the rigid social and military norms of the time prevented him from openly mourning. John's grief became a lonely journey, marked by the necessity of hiding the true nature of his relationship with Hector. After the battle, while the English armies celebrated their victory, John faced not only the pain of loss, but also the uncertainty of the future. However, an unexpected act changed the course of events. Lord Melton, the title taken by Hal, made a decision driven by a debt of honor. Years earlier, during the Jacobite Uprising, Highland warrior Jamie Fraser had saved John's life during an accidental encounter in Scotland. Aware of this debt, Hal decided to spare Jamie Fraser's life after he was captured as a Jacobite prisoner. Instead of executing him, as was the fate of many other rebels, Hal arranged for his escape. This gesture, driven by honor and gratitude, marked the beginning of a complex and lasting relationship between the Greys and the Frasers, especially between John and Jamie, whose paths would continue to cross in unexpected ways. Let me know in the comments what other topics you'd like to see covered on the channel, and remember, if you enjoy this type of video, the best way to support me is by leaving a like, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell. See you in the next video.